Welcome to this special episode of Business Arena 365. Today we are celebrating an incredible journey and a milestone of 100 episodes of this YouTube channel, a platform that is dedicated to empowering entrepreneurs and professionals with actionable insights. Our guest of honor is none other than Mr. Mahendran Subramanian.
Hi Snehal, how are you?
Good.
Thank you so much for coming over and reversing the roles. Usually I used to be the host, and today you are my host. You are being my host on my show. It's a great privilege and honor to have you.
Welcome, Mahendra sir, on your own channel. And congratulations once again for completing 100 episodes. So tell us a little bit more about how are you feeling after completing 100 episodes? It's a huge milestone.
It was super awesome feeling because I just started it about a year and a half, and then it slowly grew. The graph went up, and the most interesting part is like I could meet about 100 different business owners from different verticals and the different stories that I could get from them. It was amazing and very inspiring, in fact. So that was my journey.
So how did it all begin? How did Business Arena 365 begin? What inspired you to start this?
Well, you see, I was working for a corporate company till 2020. I came out of my regular job in mid 2020, and I was idle. Like I said, I'll relax for a couple of months. But after 2-3 months, I wanted to get back to action. So I started a couple of things which didn't work. One of them was cloud kitchen. Then also I was into domestic placement because that was my forte. I was working for the US companies for 25 years.
Yes.
And I was mainly into staffing, providing resource to the US clients. So I tried that, but I didn't enjoy it in the Indian market, in the domestic market. So then I had a flair for shoots and all those things. I was associated with a couple of friends in the film industry, and I did a couple of short films, ad films. So there was a flair in me. So I said, let me try it out. And then I started this journey, which is Business Arena 365, wherein I was showcasing business owners and professionals. So initially I tried with a couple of friends who would not say no to me. So we're close friends. I started with 5-6 of them, and then it took off well. It was accepted as well as appreciated by many people. And then I got a couple of followers also. Nothing big as such, but the graph was going up slowly. So that gave me an encouragement. And then I was in a couple of networking groups, so I saw there's a lot of scope for business owners, especially the first generation business owners, who need a platform to showcase themselves. So I said this would be the best thing because every third person you meet is a business owner or is doing something. So I said this would be a very good niche to start off. So I start out with this concept called Business Arena 365, where I showcase mainly business owners and professionals. And today I'm proud to say that I have more than 100 business owners on my channel.
Yes, because with Business Arena 365, while it started as a channel and place where you were introducing entrepreneurs to the universe through YouTube, you also have now a small networking group, which it's not small anymore because it has over 100 people in it.
Yeah.
In this entire journey, okay, in less than 18 months, as you said, you have completed 100 episodes, gone at this growth level. So what kept you going? Because consistency is very challenging in today's age. So how did you keep it going?
See, I realized one thing. Consistency is a key thing, and focus, because while speaking to all these entrepreneurs, one thing I understood is every one of them are very focused, and they were consistent. No matter what, whether somebody encouraged them or discouraged them, whether it was good or bad or ugly, they kept on going forward.
Right.
So that is one lesson which I got from all these people, and I kept going. I decided that I have to be consistent. So if you see every week, you'll have my 2 podcasts every week published on my channel.
Sure.
So that's why I kept that consistency. And then once, as a YouTube channel, it also promotes you because you're maintaining a consistency and you're doing it on a regular basis.
So you do come from a very much IT background and sales, which is nowhere close to entrepreneurship to a
Yeah.
greater extent. Okay, so in this journey, and then again content creation. So when
Yeah.
we are doing podcasts or we
Yeah.
are doing video recordings and so on, there's a lot of content creation that does play an important role. So did you have any prior experience for content creation?
Not really. I long back I used to run an ad agency, but then that was a different story. But this was different because this app could get a lot of content because I'm meeting every time a new person
True.
and a new story. So that's a new content, so new story, a new thing.
Then how did you keep going? So my question again comes down to, and being a podcaster myself, every time looking for that next guest, and finding that new person who's ready for a recording, the
Yeah.
availability. So to create this huge amount of content in such a short period of time,
Yeah.
what were key things that you did, which kept your bank of videos ready, which were launched on time? So what
Yeah.
did you do to keep that consistency going in?
See, what I did is I got enrolled in a couple of networking groups. So there were a lot of business owners. Every networking has got hundreds of them. So everyone knew what I am doing. And then I've been talking to them. So I pick and choose people, the business owners, entrepreneurs. So always I have a backup of 3 or 4 videos, which is already there because I don't want to have any week to go blank.
True.
So any point of time, I would have at least 4 to 5 because all this on the first generation business owners want to be on some channel, want to talk about themselves, they want to talk about their product, they want to show the world what they are doing, they want to take the story to the world because, like I told you, every entrepreneur is a lesson by itself.
True,
So you
very
get to
true.
learn so much. So that kept me going because I could see and feel all these entrepreneurs, the effort that they have put in. Like you'll see many of them who started off from ground zero, many of them who bounced back, especially the ladies, because there are a lot of ladies entrepreneurs on my channel.
Yes.
So many ladies, they were an active career and all, and then they had to take care of the kids and all because of the family, and they gave up the job, lucrative job, and maybe after 7 years or 8 years they bounced back
True.
and they started on their own. So which is very amazing. And there are a couple of ladies who came to ground zero because of the pandemic and all, and how they bounced back. So it's a very interesting.
So what
to
was
know.
your personal experience? Because you spoke about pandemic. Was there a different world before that and after
Of
that?
course, yes,
Especially
yes,
with.
yes.
So it's a specific or a change that is very noticeable according to
The
an
change is very
entrepreneurs?
noticeable, yes. Pre-pandemic, like things were different. The norms were different. It was a set pattern like everybody was following.
True.
But when the pandemic came, everything was shaken up. Everything was drastically disturbed. And initially people didn't know what to do because they were all indoors. But then slowly, slowly people started devising or molding themselves to the new kind of environment, the new norms. And now, in fact, they're doing much better because there's online available now, because of the technology. So because of technology, they're able to scale up more. Because I've seen a couple of them who were into education or training. They used to do physical trainings, offline trainings. But now the reach is much higher
Much
because
higher.
of online, because of the technology. So there's a lot of change.
Agreed. Because for me, 2020 was ideally the most busiest year,
Yeah.
considering people were available to get themselves trained and we
Yeah.
could just train them online. Now let's talk about the other aspect. Now,
Yeah.
bringing people in and introducing them to the world, you're
Yeah.
actually giving them a platform where
Yeah.
they can brand themselves, they
Right.
can tell their story, they
Yes.
can introduce
Yeah.
and connect with their own audience. But what about the audience? How did you grow the audience?
That's a very interesting question. Well, see, I wanted to start with a particular niche, but then I gave it a thought. There was a lot of thought process and strategy behind this. I picked up business community or the business owners mainly because I know if I do something specific to my interest, like say for example cooking, it will reach to an audience which are mine,
Right.
just to my circle. And then I used a strategy where I said, let me get people who will promote my channel. Like I made podcasts for 100, so those are 100 representatives of mine.
Yeah, it's true.
So I get followers from them, I get likes from them, I get viewership from them. Like every
Right.
podcast I make, they definitely share it with their
Right.
own contacts and their own associates. So that's the strategy that I use. That's why my channel grew faster.
Perfect. I think that answers the question. But uh, when when you have spoken to so many
Yeah,
entrepreneurs, okay,
right.
is there any one story that stuck to you and you're like, okay, this actually was worth it? So any one story or a interview that you would like to say was definitely worth it, which stuck to you as a life lesson or
No, there was one lady, I don't know, I don't think so I should name her, but she bounced back after the COVID, the pandemic. She's a young lady with 2 kids, and the sad part is she lost her husband. And she was shattered for almost a year. And then she gave me a story that how she started her entrepreneurship and how she's doing well now. Within span of 3 years, she's really doing well for herself and for her family. So that is one thing was very emotionally touching me.
I can only imagine. So what happens when you are actually, asking these questions and you get to know about the story? So what is an emotional feeling that you go through when you're listening to all these stories?
It's a different feeling altogether because while you're talking to them, something is going behind your mind. And once you're done with it, then you sit down and think how people fight back or bounce back. Because every story, there's a bounce back actually. They don't give up. All these entrepreneurs, big or small, whether it's a lady entrepreneur or whatsoever, they all bounce back. They all fight. It's a fight. Basically, it's a fight at every step and every day. It's a fight for them.
And of course, when we are doing work which is creating content, putting it out for the world, it opens up doors for both
Yeah.
appreciation at the same time, a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
How do you handle criticism? Any comments that you remember very well and would like to share today?
Well, that's a nice question that you asked. So, when I started off, like my content used to go to only to my known people, very close to me, my close friends, my colleagues, my relatives, my cousins. So the criticism was to come from the people who are very close to me. They said, what you're doing is all not going to work. You should have a specific, like somebody also said that you have been providing resources, so why don't you do something related to your HR thing? Like, but then I said to myself, it's going to be a limitation. I can put about 100 episodes. After that, what happens? But the criticism is always there, but then you have to face it. In fact, just overlook it and keep going. There might be some learnings in the criticism, but that is fine. But there will be always criticism there will be critics who will try to pull you down or put you down. But then it is your journey, you have to face it. That's what I learned from all this.
But then through this, is there any space where you felt I made either a mistake or it was something that did not work out well, which
Yeah.
ended up turning into something very valuable later?
See, what has happened is when I started off, I was not perfect. This is not my area of work or had any prior experience. But then there are a lot of mistakes I've done, but I realized that these mistakes have taught me something. Like from these mistakes I've learned.
Okay,
And then I went to the next level.
perfect. Any guests that you interacted with out of so many where you feel that these were the takeaways I took from them? So one each, like that. If you have any takeaways that you can share with us, and we can go and watch those episodes again.
You want specifically, or it can be
You
general?
can give us
General, I'll give you
general ones, yes.
The biggest thing is that you need to have consistency. Because all my guests who have appeared on my podcast, they believe in consistency. They believe in doing what they believe in, and they do it irrespective of the outcome or irrespective of what anybody says. They keep going. Second is you should have a focus. And don't deviate from your focus, keep going. So these are the things that I think I learned from this.
So Mahendran sir, your journey has been incredible in terms of, you know, the different sections or divisions that you worked with, whether it was, you know, right at the beginning with sales and marketing, or, you know, as you mentioned, starting your career with even textiles. How has this journey been, including your travels? Because you've not just lived in one city all your life, you have traveled a lot. You also spent over 5 years in States. So tell us a little bit more about how did all of this happen?
Well, that's a nice question, and like I would like to tell you that when I was a child, I was more of a person who was not in-house. Like I would love to stay outside the classroom, more active in sports and other mischievous things. So once I finished my education, when I wanted to choose a career, so I said indoor work will not suit me. So I said I must have something where I can travel and meet people, because that is one thing which I love doing, meeting different people, making friends with different people from different places. So I said the best career option would be sales. So I decided to take up sales. So that's how I got into sales, and my first job was with Raymond Woolen Mills. They're the number one textile people in suitings. And I was with them for about almost 4.5 years or so. And I traveled most of the southern region. And later on I joined Reliance Textiles. You know Reliance has a big group, a giant today. But in those days it was just a textile industry. And I was looking after the southern India, like all the 4 states of south. And then I wanted to change. There was a small patch of where about a year or so where I went through a hard patch in my life, and I was not getting a proper, I wanted to shift and I was not getting a proper break. So some of this happened, like I came across a US company which wanted somebody to look after operations, and I knew I wasn't qualified for it because I'm not a technical person. I'm basically into sales and operations. So I walked into for the interview and I met this vice president of the company. And I don't know what he saw in me. He just saw my resume and said, I'm looking for somebody like you. And that's how I got into US IT companies, where I was handling the staffing division and I was heading the back office in India. Like I worked for a couple of companies. I worked for 5 companies to be precise. And most of these companies started their back office in India, and I scaled up from 0 to more than 2,500 billable consultant for each of them.
Wow.
So that was a journey. And then I love to travel, so anytime, anywhere, I'm always ready packed with my baggage to move anywhere. So I love traveling. So I must have worked in all the major cities of India. At least 70% of the big cities in India have been there. I've worked with them. Then I've been to US many times. I spent almost about 5 years in US looking after the operations over there. Otherwise also I've traveled in many other countries.
2 words that
Yeah.
you are saying so much with ease. There are so many people who have an inhibition with it, and that is sales and marketing, because many people think that I can't actually sell or marketing is not my thing, and you deal with entrepreneurs the highest. So tell us how one can simplify this concept of sales and marketing in their mind.
See, everyone is cut out for a different thing. Like if you put me to do some in-house job or a desk job, I will not fit into it because I love to travel. I like to meet people. Like if I'm sitting in an office, I'm meeting the same people. So that will not motivate me or inspire me any much. But there are other people who love to sit in the office. They don't like to go out. So I like to go out, so that's why I enjoy it. And like I told you, I like to meet people, new people. So sales was like, it was the best job that I could get initially because I could walk in anywhere. Like I could walk into any company or I can meet any of the directors or anybody just straight away.
But then it's so much of travel that you do.
Yeah.
What kind of family support are we talking about here? Because it ain't easy, you know, when
Very
you're
true,
not at
very
your
true.
place, you come back and sometimes
Yeah.
you don't remember which button is for what. And,
It
you
happens, it
know,
happens.
so how or what kind of support do you feel, especially people who love traveling, should get or you have gotten in your life?
Yeah, I'm blessed that I always had a family support. So whenever I'm traveling, they would not stop me or say, why are you going out? You just came back and again you're packing your bag to move. I had a wonderful support from my wife and my daughter, who were always very supportive and understanding. Because you need that support, because when you're traveling, you have to plan a lot of things, and you
True.
have to be prepared for what the purpose you're going, because you're going to go there with some business purpose. So so the support is very much required.
You also spoke about cooking in some section today. So, what does cooking mean to you? How often do you cook?
Should I be honest?
Yes.
I cook every day. I love cooking. It is a passion, and it gives me a lot of satisfaction and peace of mind. So at
Perfect.
least make one dish ready. That is a must for me.
So, tell us a little bit more. Like, what's your favorite go-to comfort food?
My comfort food, if I have no time and I have just say about 15-20 minutes and I'm hungry, I would make a khichdi. Moong dal
Interesting.
khichdi is best, or a pulao. You can do it within 20 minutes.
Interesting. So, tell me this. We spoke about time as well, and with everything that you do, I feel time plays a very important role. As
Yeah.
you said earlier as well, we all have
Yes.
very limited time.
Yes.
It is the planning that matters. So, what is it that you do so that you can enjoy all these aspects of life? Because it's very clear that you do enjoy all aspects
Of
of your
course, I
life.
enjoy my work. I enjoy my spare time. There are a lot of things that I do apart from my working and traveling. So I see, everybody's got 24 hours. There's nothing more than that you can get.
True.
It's just that limited 24 hours. That is what you have. So you need to know how you have to plan your day. Personally, follow 4 Ds. Four
Okay.
Ds.
4 Ds.
Yeah. You have 10 things to do in a day, or 20, whatever. So out of the 20 or whatever you have to do, the first day is delete. Like when you log on to your laptop, the first thing you do is delete it, what is not required. So similarly in your practical life, you have to delete what is not required for today. Because out of the 10 or 20 things, it's not necessary that you have to do 20 things.
Right.
If you start doing 20 things, then end of the day you will not be satisfied. You will not be doing justice to what you're doing. Right? So first thing is I delete. The second D is delay. It's not necessary I have to do it today. There's always a tomorrow. It's not important. So I can put it for tomorrow. And the third D is delegate.
I'm loving your D so far. Delegate.
Delegate. So they are subordinates, they are relatives, friends who can do something for you. So delegate to them. So yes, 75% of your
List is
list is
done.
gone. So rest you have 3-4 tasks to do it.
Do it.
Do it.
The last
D
D
is
is
do.
do it. Yes.
Just do it.
Got it.
So then you are free. Like if you see, honestly speaking, 2 hours is more than enough. I have only worked for 2 hours a day, honestly speaking, when I was working in these corporates.
Amazing, amazing.
And I have to be free and move around with other departments to get to know what they do.
I think
And I
that
loved working. I never worked in stress. I never worked in stress.
if you had to sum up the entire journey so far, how would you tell us?
See, this journey just started unintentionally, but it was a wonderful journey because, like I told you, I met 100 people, 100 business owners, and there's a different story of each one. Each one is different. Each individual is different. So there's a lot of learning from them. Like if you see, if you want me to elaborate, like this, unknowingly I've created a business community.
True.
Because I started as a hobby, then I was enjoying it. And then I realized over a period of time, when I finished my 50th episode, and I realized that there's all these business owners can come under a business community. So I've created a business community which will be a official networking group going forward.
Perfect. And in this entire journey so far, okay, you know you reached here. Where do you
Yeah.
want to reach next?
I want to be the number one YouTuber.
That sounds like an amazing goal for sure. Let's do a quick rapid fire, some fun segment to this, okay? So
Okay.
I'm going to ask you certain questions. You just have to say what comes to your mind first.
Okay.
Okay?
Great.
Let's start with what's the best advice you ever received from anyone? Not just on your channel, but anyone.
Keep going.
Okay. If you could have a dinner with any historical figure, okay, or any celebrity of your choice, who would it be and why?
Will be Mogambo.
Now you definitely have to say why.
Because that character always inspires me. He's got so much of energy in him whenever he appears on screen. So, it's one of
Mogambo
the
Khushua.
good-
Okay.
Though
What's
that
your,
character's like some kind of a what do you call a villainish character, but there's so much of inspiration and happiness towards life.
he's been one of the most favorite villains over a period
Yeah,
of time
though he's
with
a villain, there he says,
slogan.
"Be happy."
Yes. And yeah,
keep
he talks
happy.
about being happy as well. Perfect. Your go-to productivity hack.
Sorry?
Your go-to productivity hack. How do you manage time with ease?
You need to plan. Time is a limited resource, so you need to plan.
Okay. If you had to put your life's journey in 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
Freedom.
Okay. That's just one. 2 more.
Keep going. Be good to others.
Perfect. And one book that you would recommend anyone should read? Fiction, non-fiction, poetry.
Day of the Jackal.
Okay. One movie that you would recommend everybody should watch at least once in their life? Mr. India.
Yeah, Mr. India, I suppose.
If you could go back in time and change or edit any moment, let's talk about your journey of these 100 episodes. What would that be?
My first episode, I would like to edit because I know the blunders that I have made.
Any guilty pleasures that make you smile?
Not really.
Okay. Message to the new entrepreneurs or upcoming entrepreneurs.
There's so much I've given. They have to watch my videos to get the inspiration.
Definitely.
There are 100 stories out there. There's much more to learn from there. It's institute by itself.
I think, yeah, 100 stories is a lot of learning and a lesson in each one for sure. You have, gone here so far. We have, as you said, you want to be the number one YouTuber as well. So any call out that you want to do or anything that you want to say to the audience before we close for today?
Well, see, every episode is made with some intention where you can learn. There is some lesson always hidden into it. So I said you have to watch all the videos of mine, especially.
I think that sums it up. That was an amazing conversation today and so many insights into not only your life but also how your journey has been. So thank you so much, and thank you for this opportunity for letting me do this episode for you. So thank you.
Thank you, Snehal. It was a great pleasure and honor. And it's great. Thank you so much for giving me your time. It was awesome to be with you. Thank you so much. Take care. God bless you. Please do like, subscribe, and watch.